This is one of the most common frustrations in dishwasher reviews. Not about cleaning, not about noise, but drying. Customers expect bone dry dishes every time. And when that doesn't happen, they feel like the machine is a failure. John, why is drying such a problem?
Yeah, so the truth is, drying dishes in 2025 is still one of the hardest challenges in the appliance world. And it's a completely different game than it was years ago, right? So back then, dishwashers relied on really what I would call brute force, right? I mean, they superheated the final rinse, they blasted these vents wide open, and they really essentially just cooked dishes with an exposed heating coil. And while it guaranteed dry plastics, it also melted them, and it drove up energy bills and it filled the kitchen up with steam and it was loud and it was wasteful and it would never pass modern efficiency standards. So today, all of those crutches are now gone. Manufacturers really ended up having to redesign dishwashers around what I would consider three competing priorities, right? Extreme water and energy efficiency, ultra quiet operation, and really these tighter cabinetry installs for panel ready dishwashers and things like that the market's asking for. And that really forced them to throw out the coil and the vent systems, and what replaced it is far more complex. Drying now depends on a system with multiple variables that are all working together. You have tub materials, and tub materials have to really kind of beginning and end with stainless steel now. It's critical because they hold heat and allow the condensation to pull the moisture off the dishes, and plastic tubs just can't do that. Then you have your water temperature, right? If that final rinse isn't hot enough, the whole drying process is going to collapse really before it even starts. And then you have rinse aid chemistry, right? This is no longer optional in dishwashers, right? It breaks surface tension so water kind of sheets off your dishes instead of clinging to it. And without it, I don't care how good of a system you bought, you'll always get wet plastics and glassware. Then you have airflow design, right? I mean, we're seeing things like open door pops and fan assisted dryings and these mineral assisted systems that are out there. These are now what I would consider the difference makers in the category. And then you have load habits on top of that, right? Even placement matters throughout a dishwasher. And you nest a bowl in the wrong place and you've really created a drying failure for yourself that the system could never overcome. You have to think of it as links in a chain, right? If one of those links is missing, the end result is always going to be wet dishes. And that's why these modern dishwashers generate so many complaints on the drying. And the irony is many people believe that their old dishwashers were better, but really they just cheated, right? I mean, it threw heat and energy at the problem with no regard for efficiency whatsoever. And today's machines are doing it really what I would consider the hard way, right? Because they're still trying to be quiet and efficient, doing everything safely. And that means that our pitch kind of has to evolve with this evolution in drying, right? Because drying today isn't broken, it's just misunderstood, right? Our kind of sales pitch is the thing that needs to be worked on. So if you're still promising those hot cola results from years ago, or worse yet, not even bringing it up in conversation, you're really setting that customer up for disappointment. The real move here is to reset that expectation, explain the system that we have now, and then upsell into those technologies that actually deliver the results that they're looking for, like auto open doors and fan systems and zeolite drying, things like that. Because if you don't, you're going to keep hearing reviews like this that say that their dishes are still wet. But at this point in the conversation, it's not a dishwasher failure anymore. It's kind of more on the salesperson to reset those expectations.